All right, folks, being 7 o'clock, please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Lynn, could you call roll?
Mr. Burke?
Here.
Mr. Hand?
Yes.
Mr. Grover?
Here.
Mrs. Sullivan?
Here.
Ms. Lesniak? Mrs. Vandermoor?
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes of November 6th?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
I'll abstain. Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Any citizen comments?
Natalia and David Savage?
Yes.
Just state your name and address. For record.
David Savage. We don't actually live in the town, but we own property on Type Road. I'm speaking on my mom's behalf. It's just easier for me to talk. English is her second language. So the reason why we're here is we had the neighbor, James Bell. He built a garage and put in a driveway, encroaching went over our property line. I'm sure, I think it was been addressed. Our attorney has sent you guys some letters regarding it.
Yes.
As well as the code enforcement's aware of it as
Yes.
well. We've kind of gotten to a standstill. We didn't know what is going on further from here. We've done everything we can on our part. Our attorney's done everything she can on her part. We're wondering, what is your guys' next course of action, or what is your recommendation for us to do?
So I don't know that all of the board is privy to that because it's more of a code issue, and I know that you have hired an attorney. I can't tell you right now where we're at with that. Nadine, I don't know if you're familiar with it. When Karen Kukla's representing these guys, literally they're here, someone came here, put a driveway in, put a barn in, somehow the property line, he thinks it's one thing, she thinks it's another. Wouldn't it just be your attorney talking to their, okay.
That's a private. Unfortunately, because to the best of my knowledge, we don't have any zoning regulations regarding how close to a property line a driveway can be.
Well, it's next to our property. He built.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
But what my point is because somebody can build right up to it,
Yep.
if it goes over, that becomes a private land dispute. You have essentially, without going into legal theory or giving you legal advice, what you would have is a trespass.
Okay.
He's trespassing, his driveway is trespassing on your property, but that's not something that the town has any authority over.
Okay.
That would be something that, when you said your attorney has done as much as she can with that, was there a lawsuit?
So she's sent letters both to, I believe, here as well as to him. I don't think she does or is able to do the property dispute at the level that he needs to, because assuming he needs to go to a Supreme level.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. We were just wondering, as we had discussions with code enforcement and I know he's part-time, we get it, he's got a lot.
Well, we actually have a deputy now who's full-time,
Oh, okay.
so you can call anytime you
All right.
want, and there's going to be a code enforcement officer available for you.
That'll still be a private issue, though. Perhaps you need to seek other legal counsel who is more comfortable.
Yeah, we had a separate portion of that is if we can't, obviously, get him to remove the garage or the driveway, getting permit, because it's on our property, to build just to build a fence there. Again, we just weren't hearing back, and we didn't know where to turn to.
Typically, there's 3 ways to resolve it. Remove it, actually, there's 2 ways. Remove it, or if you were agreeable to selling the portion of the property.
Yes.
Most people don't, I know, and it's all of a sudden it's peanuts and what the property is really when you start talking, depending upon the amount of land that's impeded. But unfortunately, that's all a private issue because it wouldn't be a zoning issue.
Okay.
So I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, like my neighbors had the same thing.
their house was here, there was house here, and this guy wanted to put a fence up and started putting a fence up, and they were saying, no, you're on my property line. He had to get a survey, she got a survey, it said what she thought, it said what he thought, then they had to take it to court. The judge got a third-party surveyor to go out, and he will, go through your title and figure it out, this third-party surveyor, and the judge will rule on it, but it is at the Supreme Court level. So as Nadine said, it's not something we can resolve in the codes office because you're saying one thing and they're saying one thing, and it's based on your title.
The only thing is, did you say his garage is on your property as well?
Yes, I can show you.
So the only thing that you might be able to pursue with that is we have setbacks. And so if the garage, if it can be documented that the garage, whether it's over the property line or not, and I'm gonna make up numbers, okay?
Yeah, I can.
Say you live, that's okay, you don't have to go.
So that's
Yes, so
red line.
perhaps what you can explore with the code office, because I was familiar with the driveway issue, but not the garage. All structures need to have a certain amount of setback. So if the setback for a garage structure, making up numbers, is 15 feet in a R15, I don't know. And they don't have that, the code office can issue a notice of violation that there's a setback issue, there's a setback violation, and they need to take care of that. The normal course to remedy that would be for their neighbor to go and say, okay, I'm going to apply for an area variance, and the minute, which would put a stay on any kind of proceedings, enforcement proceedings by the code office. In which case he files an area variance, comes before the planning board, zoning board of appeals and says, I want an area variance, and that's not something they can grant to allow it to go up to the property line and extend over. That may help you later on, because then he would be in if he did not correct it, then the town would have the ability to file or issue an appearance ticket in criminal court. So your better argument, if you will, is not with the town level anyways, is not whether or not where the driveway placement is, it's the actual structure which would violate any setbacks. That would
But I think the issue is
where the setback line, where the property line is.
Right.
Understand, that's why I said if it could be documented, it would need to be proven. And if we don't have the information that can prove that, then because if they were to proceed, the standard of, the burden of proof that the town has, if they were to issue a ticket, would be in town court and it's criminal, and it would have to be beyond a reasonable doubt.
A police officer, I understand.
There you go. Okay, well, some people don't always think of that with code violations.
Right.
They think of that as like, I'm
yeah.
speeding or I broke in
Right.
and I'm a criminal. They don't always think of setbacks as beyond a reasonable doubt. So that would be your other option, but you would have to really give it would have to be so exceedingly clear to the code office. But if you have a current survey or whatever, that might be.
We did. We just had another survey done on the property, confirmed, back when we bought the property, it had the same property lines, confirmed the same thing.
Okay.
These neighbors were refusing to get a survey done of his own.
Right, that's why I think you have to take them to court. The judge will order a third party to come and do a survey, and that will be what the court will agree is the boundary line.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you said the code enforcement is here, is it every day or?
All week long.
What is hours? I'm sorry, I don't.
8:30 to 4.
Okay. All right.
Good luck.
And my
I have mistakes in construction.
yeah, that's, he's saying that he removed all the property markers.
The rods or whatever.
Which is a
Yeah.
criminal action, by the way.
Right.
We take him off everything, it's like, all
So-
stakes, we just put the next day, he threw everything and like.
So that's,
Cameras.
again, we,
Okay, so the second time and two
Right,
stakes very often,
yeah, we just had a question about that, because we were like, I don't know what the next course of action is. I know code enforcement did some stuff, we didn't know where that was heading, or what you guys could or couldn't do regarding that.
Yeah.
So you said something about the or land variance, you said, or property variance?
The issue would be a setback
Okay.
and whether he's in violation of setback regulations. Or the code office will understand from that.
All right, thank you very
Dave,
much.
if you feel like you're not getting the answers or support you need with our
Oh,
codes.
there's two different reports there, the answers you need.
From the code's office, please feel free to reach out to me.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Good luck.
Just kidding.
Lennon.
Mike Meyer.
Mike,
Mike Meyer, Queen Road.
Mike,
Lawrenceville.
come on up to the microphone.
Please say that. Question.
Sure.
And Mike Meyer.
No, that's what she said. Sorry.
There you go.
Queen Road, Lawrenceville. I'm here about number 5, Mr. Eldon Holmes requests to change the zoning
Okay.
up on 30. I'm not familiar, how big is R40?
Jason?
I think
1 acre
it's-
lots.
It's a 1 acre lot.
1 acre lots. And R15?
It's 15,000 square feet.
15,000 feet. Because we've been out in Queen Road since 1986, and we bought out there as well as a lot of people because it was a nice rural area. And then Mr. Eldon comes along, and he starts, putting these houses in tight and everything, and I just wanted to know how big the lot sizes were so that I can try and rally the troops and see if we can put the brakes on and changing the zoning out there. There used to be a lot of trees and stuff, which there are now, and it's getting loud and it's getting crowded and like that, so I was just wondering about the lot sizes.
Well, we're going to have the public hearing. I'm going to set it or introduce it today, or maybe
We'll talk.
tomorrow.
We'll talk.
Or next week, sorry.
For
But
January?
for January, and it's not going to be the 25th, it's going to be the 15th, that's a typo, but just, I would encourage you to come back and, let us know. We want to hear from the public, whether people are for it or against it, but I need you guys to come and let us hear, let the whole board hear what your position is, and we'll make a decision.
Do you think that they would be able to keep it to R40 if enough people were against shrinking the lot sizes?
So, in my mind, I would say yes, but I can't speak for everyone.
No, that's fine.
Everyone here has a vote, and it's based on how many votes we get, and I can't tell you what everyone's thinking, but I would say there's probably a possibility.
Okay, because my real concern is when he does it on that other piece behind Comaine Road, between the river and Comaine Road. But if we let him do it up there, then it gives him more ammunition to do it for the other portion, so.
Yep,
that's what I was-
understood.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you.
It's very important for the public hearing, for the public to come and voice their
Yeah, well,
concerns
that's why I
on
wanted
that,
to
so we
ask
hear.
questions, so I could make sure I knew what I was, give them the right information. Thanks.
Anyone else, Lynn? Okay. Moving on to number 1, can I get a motion to approve the vouchers in the amount of $61,516.48?
I will make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Roger. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We do not have any budget transfers tonight. Number 3, can I get a motion to approve the purchase of a 2025 6-wheel Freightliner with Henderson plow package? Purchase price of $291,865 from Tracy Road Equipment, which was purchased through the Onondaga County bid number 0010914 to be paid out of our ARPA funds and is subject to permissive referendum.
I'll make that motion.
I will second.
Do I need to schedule anything for that? I'm good just to go. Does that need a roll call? No. Okay. Motion made by Jenny, seconded by Bob. Any questions? Mr. Doug, would you like to speak to this and tell us what this is about and how fancy it is?
Sure, real quickly, it's just, town's being very proactive, looking forward. There's a whole slew of uncertainty in the near future with the electrical vehicle market and mandates that are being put down that they get struck down and then they come back around in another form or fashion. Many vendors have already closed their orders for 2025, the entire year. So that being said, we have a truck on order that we have ordered over 2.5 years ago and still has not received yet. So we are looking, nobody knows for sure, but if you look in the glass ball, most people are expecting that if you do not get one that's already in line, most likely would not receive one until 2028 or 29. And even then, there's going to be a lot of places trying to play catch up to get trucks that are not safe to be on the road, just to be able to be on the road. So the town has been very proactive in the past about having money put aside in each budget to accommodate trucks. And we had this opportunity to purchase one that was already in line, and the board agreed, and I think it's just a great way of looking forward to hopefully keep the town out of trouble, for lack of a better word.
Great, thank you. And I'll just reiterate, this is coming out of the ARPA funds, so this is not coming out of our budget, and no additional taxes will be necessary for that purchase. So motion by Jenny, seconded by Bob. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4 is, can I get a motion to accept the record of activities and set service credit for New York State retirement for me, Supervisor Wendy Vanderwater?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Jen, seconded by Bob. Any questions?
No, actually by Mike.
Or sorry. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
And I will abstain. Motion passes. Okay, number 5.
May I explain?
Sure.
Okay, so the town has received a request from Eldon Homes, a developer, for a zone change to change property from R40 to R15. This is achieved by means of local law because it's a change to the zoning map, which is part of, it's been codified as part of our town code. So because of that, that requires the introduction of a local law. And when that local law is introduced, a public hearing is scheduled. After the public hearing, then the town can act on the local law that's been introduced. So because this was just heard last week, or rather last week, the planning board ZBA just made their referral. The local law that would be considered by the town board was not prepared in time for tonight's meeting. So this is just more of a, instead of setting the schedule or scheduling the public hearing this evening, this is more of just a discussion to make the public aware that at our next town board meeting, that local law will be introduced, and at that time, as part of the introductory resolution, a public hearing will be scheduled for the January 15th date. So just as an explanation, but the planning board did review, whenever a zone change request is received by the town board, they always refer it to the planning board ZBA for review, comment, and recommendation. That is our normal process. And that recommendation just came back, and it's understood that they are recommending approval. So that's where we're at. More to come at the next meeting.
Yep, so this will be on next agenda for action.
For introduction.
Introduction, yep.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Number 6, can I get a motion to approve the appointment of Jeremiah Black as MEO effective December 3rd, 2024, as this position is listed in the union contract, the AFSME for highway.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Jenny. Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I have a number 7 penciled in. As you folks probably are aware, we meet the first Wednesday and third Wednesday of every month. Unfortunately, the first Wednesday in January falls on New Year's Day. We, as a board, are making a decision that we are going to meet on January 1st, but we will move the time from 7 p.m. to 3 p.m. To conduct our organizational meeting as well as a regular board meeting. Do I need a motion for that? I need a motion. Can I get a motion to schedule our organizational meeting and first regular board meeting for January 1st at 3 p.m.?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Roger, seconded by, who are you? Bob. Any questions? Any comments? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. So I don't expect all you guys to come, but we'll be here. Penciled in number 8. I would like a motion to appoint Kim Vandemark as code clerk, effective December 9th, 2024, at a rate of $25.10 per hour. As a little bit of a background, we've been without a codes clerk for over a month, and now that we have our code enforcement officers, we need to get someone in there to get assisting them and get that office running smooth again. So we had a lot of great candidates. It was a really hard decision to narrow it down to one, but we did. We're excited that she accepted the job. So with that being said, any motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Jenny, seconded by Roger. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And my last penciled in, number 9, can I get a motion to approve the contract from Springbrook, moving KBS accounting system to cloud-based for an annual fee of $2,420?
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. Any comments or questions? I'll just reiterate, this is our accounting software. I don't have the IT lingo, but the platform it's on is not supported very well, and they're recommending we move it to a cloud-based platform. And I've said this before, and I'm gonna kind of keep doing it. We're really committed to upgrading the technology here at Town Hall, and this is another example of how we're doing that. It will alleviate a lot of lag time and be able to do a lot more fun things technology-wise. So I'm really looking forward to moving this, and it's really more efficient, I would say. Okay, any other comments? Motion made by Bob, seconded by Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, moving on to council committee reports and comments. Bob, I'm going to start with you.
The only thing I said, we had a codes meeting. Roger was on site with me with Tim Daney, our codes officer. We did a preliminary change of some of our zoning codes, which I believe all of the members here have. So I would hopefully within the next week, everybody just go through them, fine tune them, and let me know, and we'll get things back together to finalize everything before January.
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
Jen?
Just a reminder that November 22nd is the deadline for Cantonwood's wreath ordering. And then also November 30th, which is next Saturday, the village will have some road closures at 5:10 because the parade of lights and the tree lights will be taking place. And then also, I would like to set up a January 23rd at 3 p.m., which is a Thursday, a facilities committee meeting. And that's it, all I got.
Thanks. Roger?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Okay. Supervisor comments. I just want to let everyone know we're going to go into exec session after we're done with comments for highway personnel discussions.
With no action to be taken.
With no action to be taken. Thank you. Highway.
Nothing this evening.
Jason.
I have nothing this evening.
Nadine.
I have nothing to say.
Well, with that being said, can I get a motion to close regular board meeting and go into executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Bob, seconded by Jenny. Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight.